What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody. Hitting at 170. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. Like I said before, the real season begins. We got the NFL Combine going on this weekend, and then looking forward to NBA playoffs, man.
Yeah, same. It's getting towards that time of year, right? Getting close to the tournament. We got NBA playoffs coming. We're gonna have Masters coming and NHL playoffs. It's a fun time from now till through June.
Oh yeah, I already know March Madness is gonna be a shit show, so that's gonna be.
Yeah.
You're all gonna be knocked out the first day, so.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some brackets busted early again this year.
Yeah, you're gonna be looking at your number ones going down the first round. Like, what is going on, man?
I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm there every year anyway. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like it's going on right now, man. All these teams, number ones, number twos, going down every week, man. But let's get right into it, man. We got let's kick off with the NFL. Like you said, the off season's going on. Teams out there using the franchise tag on some of their players. Your boy T. Higgins got tagged, and your boy Snead got tagged so far. So other than that, it's gonna be interesting to see who else gets tagged.
Yeah, it sounds like the Chiefs are kind of they're giving Snead the opportunity to look for a trade as well. I think that obviously they'd like to sign him, but not if it's cost prohibitive. So yeah, this is kind of that weird time of year where see some guys getting cut or some guys getting tagged, and then we've heard all the running backs that are going to be on the free agent market: Saquon, Josh
all
Jacobs,
the running backs, Henry, all the running
Henry,
backs.
yeah. So it's going to be it could be a little bit of a wild free agency. I'm kind of curious what happens with the running back because we've talked about it a bunch on here, but just teams devaluing running backs, and you got some big names getting out there, some guys that probably still have a little bit of juice left in them. I'm curious to see what kind of contracts come out for like the Henrys, Barkley. I'd imagine Josh Jacobs probably gets a little bit of a bigger deal. I think he's a little bit younger, but yeah, kind of interested to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, they were saying that if those guys get tagged, like Henry or Jacobs, there's going to be more towards like the 15, 18 because of the 20% salary bump. But
yeah.
But still interesting to see if anybody gets like normal sign.
That's why these guys aren't going to get tagged though, because the teams don't want to pay that increased salary bump. So they'll either let them walk or try to get them to on probably a short term, fully guaranteed type of a deal.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if you could just let players walk like that. You got to get something for them, like a draft, second, third, fourth, something.
But everyone knows, like you don't have any leverage. If you're gonna, I'd imagine like even if you signed like a Jacobs and traded him, you're probably only getting like maybe a fourth rounder at best. But it's one of those like get like a Santonio Holmes when he went to the Jets for like a fifth rounder or something like that. I think is what will end up happening.
Yeah, but I just feel like you got to get something for him though, even if it's even as a fourth rounder. You never know what that pick could turn into. So
yeah, true.
And then, like I said, we got your boy Combine. Well, we got the Combine this weekend. Looking forward to seeing some of the top players. They got some of the quarterbacks throwing, but most of the top three quarterbacks aren't throwing, of course. But I'm interested in seeing how they measure out. And then some of these defensive players. So, I mean, Giants, we need a lot of help. So we can be looking at everybody. Then we had your boy Zach Wilson, man. He's out there looking for a trade. They were saying some of the teams that possibly could trade for him are the Rams, Broncos, and 49ers. I mean, he's falling into that Sam Darnold effect, man.
Well, it's pretty much where he's at right now. Yeah, probably. San Francisco is probably the best landing spot for his career because Kyle Shanahan seems to, have some gold touch with these quarterbacks. Yeah, Sean Payton maybe could do something with him in Denver. I don't know. I don't know. He definitely needs a fresh look, but I just don't know. He'll be 4 years into the league, his fourth year. Like, what is his decision making any better than it was day one? Doesn't seem like it. Or is he just kind of broken and maybe you can get like a Geno Smith type bump going somewhere else.
No, I don't think he's confident enough to be a quarterback. I mean, even compared to even if you compare him to Geno Smith always felt like he was a star, so to say.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't see Wilson, especially after watching the Hard Knocks. Like, he'll throw up a good pass and be on the bench like, oh, that was a nice pass I threw, rather than hell yeah, I threw that pass, or
like
just
he
a different
expected to
mindset.
do it.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, he can figure some things out, and this won't be his last deal. So then we had your boy Cam Newton out here stiff arming defenders like he was back in the lead.
What is wrong with these people? They not realize this guy is like 6'5", 280 and played in the NFL. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, they got upset from some stuff he said, but I mean, he didn't really curse at him or anything. He just kind of just said, kind of jokingly, like, like, I helped you guys out, in a way. And then, people didn't take it the right way. But then they tried to jump him. It was it felt like it was a 7-on-1, and I mean, he fought his ground. I mean, he had one guy in like a stiff arm headlock. He had another guy like stiff armed away. One guy was like tucked under his armpit. After the whole fight, his hat did not move. That was pretty funny to me.
Yeah, the hat stayed on the whole time, which was hilarious. But yeah, he was tossing those guys like rag dolls. It was kind of wild.
Yeah, and it was like parents. It was like what are y'all thinking, man?
Yeah.
But I mean, unfortunately, this is gonna feed into the his bad rap, so to say.
I don't think he has a bad. Does he have a bad rap? I think he has a pretty good rap, actually.
I think amongst the players he has a good rap, but amongst the media he has a bad rap. I feel like people feel like they don't credit what he did.
Well, I'll tell you what, he can do no wrong here in the Charlotte area. People absolutely love him.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was a good quarterback, right? He took the guys to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, Von Miller went crazy on him. I mean, there's nothing he could do about that, man. He had some good years, even his rookie year. I mean, passing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. He was all over the place, man.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's kind of like, I feel like he's like blackballed in the NFL. So, but mixed reviews, but definitely one of the good guys in my heart. So
yeah. And
then on to the NBA. I mean, we got the second half kicking off in full effect. We got the race to the playoffs right now. There's not really much going on in the NBA either, man.
Yeah, it's. I would say it's been pretty much status quo. I think, the Celtics are building themselves a nice cushion up there at the top, and then it's below that. It's a battle between the Knicks, the Bucks, the Cavs. In that 2, 3, 4 spot. I think Indiana's kind of fallen off a bit. But yeah, it's for me. One of the bigger questions is just what is this Knicks team going to look like in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. We got to get healthy. So
yeah, you got to get healthy. Curious, how Brunson looks, in more of that playoff basketball when it gets a little more physical. Guys are actually giving a crap on defense, and we've seen it, multiple times now with Julius Randle kind of falling apart when you get into the playoffs. And it's not just him; it's other guys too, right? I think Spider's got a lot to prove in the playoffs still. So yeah, I think this could be like an interesting first round for like Cavs, Knicks, and maybe some of these other teams that are getting in on the East on the lower side.
Yeah, definitely on those top 4 teams in the East. I mean, even though the Celtics are number 1, they still got something to prove. But the only way they're going to do that is to make it to the finals and win.
Right.
And then on the West side, I mean, I'm interested to see how these other teams finish up because you got the Thunder and Minnesota leading the West. So both young teams. You wonder if when they get to the playoffs, is their inexperience going to hurt them, or does that not matter this year for them? So
right, exactly.
And then we got the Nuggets and the Clippers, at 3 and 4. So those are the teams that are pretty much favored to come out of the West. can Kawhi really put it together this year? He's been pretty much healthy. And then, can Nuggets repeat? That's one of the hardest things for them to do. So,
Yeah, I mean for sure. And the Pelicans are sneaky high up there, number 5. I think that Clippers are probably a bad matchup for them, but then you get the Suns lurking at 6, right? Like they haven't been healthy all year either, and they're sitting at the 6th seed right now. Probably not a great matchup against the Nuggets, but what happens if
oh no.
they get to a 5 seed and get the Clippers or somehow get into the get the Thunder in some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You don't even want to get the 5 because that's still
No,
another bad matchup. So
it's a bad matchup.
so definitely going to be paying attention to see how these standings finish out because it'll make the first round a lot better with some of these matchups. So
Yeah, for sure.
and your girl Caitlin Clark out here trying to get the all-time record for points. I feel like some people are trying to downgrade it because Pistol P didn't have the 3-point line. But don't get me wrong, he was averaging like 44 points a game. But
Yeah,
he was playing back then with a whole bunch of white people.
he was
No
a white
offense.
people.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but like he's playing in the old NBA.
I
But
know,
like Will
I know.
Chamberlain scored 100 points and stuff. But I mean, to down, I feel like for people to downplay her getting the all-time scoring title, so to say, is like for them to say that same thing with LeBron and Kareem. Just because the 3-point contest, the 3-pointer wasn't there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the game's going to change. Yeah, no, like you said, like I think there were some good shooters back in the old NBA days that are just they're obviously never going to have that 3-point opportunity. Even Larry Bird, like I think it came in early in his career, but because it was so new and it was at the time considered a low percentage shot, not a lot of guys shot threes, until I mean, really until, Steph Curry and that, it wasn't really, even for most of our childhood, 3-pointer was there, but it wasn't like hugely used, right? Like now it's integral part of the game. But people just weren't as good of outside shooters and it was more focused in the mid-range game, layups, dunks, all that stuff. So yeah, what Caitlin Clark is doing is different and obviously it's fun to watch and I just saw that the ticket to the Ohio State game this weekend is like averaging like $420 a piece. It's the highest priced ever, NBA, WNBA or college. So she's obviously, regardless of the scoring record, she's putting people in the stands and putting eyeballs on her, which is great for the sport.
Oh yeah, I mean the NBA is looking at WNBA is looking at chops right now.
I still want the Celtics to draft her.
That would be hilarious, man.
Put her in the
If they
NBA.
did, that would be hilarious. The thing is, I'm interested to see if she comes out this year. Being players being in the college now, I mean, you make so much more money compared to going pro. It doesn't even matter. But I'm interested to see if she comes out, what kind of endorsement deal she gets. Like, does she get her own shoe, or how much dollars going to be pushed behind her to put her to the forefront for the WNBA. But I also think this is an opportunity for them to capitalize on getting that figure that people haven't been excited for in a long time.
Absolutely.
We got a PGA. We got the Mexico Championship coming up. Or no, that one just happened, right?
That was last weekend. Yep.
Yeah, last weekend. Your boy Nap won.
Yeah, so he came. He's been on the Korn Ferry Tour for a while. I think he's 29 from California. No, from Canada. Sorry. But yeah, he hits the ball a long way. He's got a nice smooth swing, and yeah, he's making a ton of birdies. Problem is he's inconsistent. So, but yeah, he played well Sunday. Kind of held off a bit of a nameless leaderboard, but a win's a win, right? And he hit like 2 fairways out of 14 on Sunday, and still shot good enough to win the tournament. But it's awesome for what that one win does for your career. It gets you like exempt status for 2 years on the tour. You get to play in all the elevated events this year. You get to play in all the majors, I think, except for the British Open you have to qualify for. But yeah, one win like does incredible things for your career on tour. Never mind the almost $2 million you probably make as well for winning the tournament. So good on him. He seems like a good dude. And yeah, it was fun to watch that coming down the stretch there.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. It only takes one day for you to get it hot, and then if you can hold your lead or not screw it up, you'll be in good standing. So
yeah, I mean that's the hardest part in golf, right? You can shoot a 62 one day, you can shoot a 78 just as easily the next day. So it's avoiding that big number and just holding it down, which is what Knapp did. He came out on Saturday, shot a real low score, put him in a good position, and he just held on Sunday.
And then we got the Honda Classic coming up this weekend.
Oh, it's the Cognizant Classic.
Oh, they changed it. Okay. Switching up names on me. What's going on?
I know that's all jacked up. I was like, what tournament is this? And it's like, oh, it's the former Honda Classic. They play it in West Palm. Yeah, I always liked watching this tournament. It's kind of fallen off a bit. I think there's a couple bigger names this year. You got Rory playing, but yeah, it's the Bear Trap is 15 through 18, 16 through 18, something like that. Just a really kind of cool finishing holes that they have down there at PGA National. So it's again always a fun course for me to watch. I like to watch. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'd say I haven't put my lineup out yet, but Rory's going to kind of be at the top of a lot of people's lineup this week.
Yeah, I was about to say, how you feel about that? Because I didn't see too many people in this tournament that we know of.
It's not because you're kind of set up for a few weeks now. You're going to have the API, which is an elevated event next week, the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill, and then you got the Players in 2 weeks at Sawgrass, which is obviously a big tournament as well. And that's all leading up to the Masters here in about just over a month. We got probably five weeks to go. So yeah, this tournament again doesn't have the firepower, but it's got some good young play. You got Beau Hossler, who's been playing well this year. Obviously, Rory, Nick Dunlap, the amateur that won earlier this year. I thought I saw some of
I think I saw Kirk and.
Oh yeah, Kirk's in there. Joel Damon, Eric Cole, Berger, Gary Woodland. So there's some decent names. Sepp Straka's playing. Sungjae plays every tournament. He's the man. Justin Rose, Fitzpatrick, Tom Kim. So there's some guys out there that can score, or that you'll recognize that can score.
I mean, it's always going to be fun to watch, especially with those guys that aren't really no name for them to go out there and make a name for themselves. And like you said, even lock themselves into being able to not having to worry about qualifying for certain events and other stuff. So that's pretty good.
Just a couple other tidbits from golf. I don't know if you caught this. Just from the live side, Taylor Gooch continues to impress people with his quotes. I don't know if you caught this one, but he said that and Rory kind of mentioned it today, but that he kind of got trapped into this question. But essentially, the headline was that Taylor Gooch says that if Rory McIlroy wins the Masters this year, it has an asterisk because he doesn't have all the best players in the world, because he's not playing in the Masters and he won the live regular season last year. So it kind of golf Twitter is, I don't know if you've ever stumbled into golf Twitter, but it's kind of a it's a world unto itself. I would say you got the hardcore golf guys on there, and they kind of all intermingle with the golf writers and the YouTube golfers, and everyone's got an opinion. And man, Taylor Gooch has been being roasted the last 2 days on Twitter, to the point where Data Golf, which does a lot of golf rankings, and they kind of take they try to just rank golfers on how they're playing on a course. It doesn't matter who they're playing against, like the world golf rankings are. And basically Gooch roasted them too and was like, yeah, whatever, they're kind of not putting the best players in the world, even based on Data Golf. And then they basically put out a whole list, and Taylor Gooch was anywhere near the top 50 on the list. So it was kind of funny, but yeah, it kind of lit up the golf Twitter world, which was fun. Been fun for the last couple of days to kind of walk through. Rory kind of downplayed it today, which was probably the right thing to do, but yeah. So we had that, and then I don't know if you remember Anthony Kim.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's been out of golf for 13 years. The last time we saw him was 2010-ish. but when he was kind of like the young hip guy that was going to change golf, and he had the giant belt buckles, all the swagger. Um, Probably was a little ahead of his time. I think that if he came out now, it would be a little bit more well accepted. I think back then golf was still a little stuffy, but he was fun to watch. He was fun in the Ryder Cup. Him and Tiger, had a couple of duels which were fun, and then he disappeared. So this week, he's reemerged, and he's going to be playing for a couple of events on Live this year, and starting this week. So kind of curious to see what he shoots this week. If he comes out and fires like a low round, I think he could capture some people's attention. But if he comes out and bombs 3 rounds, I think it'll be a quick in and out for Anthony Kim.
I mean, either way, that's good for him. I mean,
Yeah.
because Live is paying, so
Yeah.
You're gonna get a good amount of money playing for them, even if you bomb or not. But I mean,
Yeah,
definitely if he does well, it helps him in the long run. So
it's a win-win for him, right? Like, he can't lose in this situation. He could go out and shoot 95, and he's still getting his, probably $10 million to play some competitive golf this year, which why not, right? And he didn't have to qualify for anything. Like, if he wanted to get onto the PGA Tour, he would need a sponsor's exemption, or he'd have to go through, the Korn Ferry Tour qualifying and all that. So this was like the ideal situation for him.
oh yeah, it definitely is. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of players could possibly take advantage of that, like come out of retirement, in and out with Live. So
maybe,
like I feel like they could do like an over 40 or event, or like an old timers event that would help generate a lot of income too. So
like the Champions Tour kind of thing.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites of Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so I don't do a ton of breakfast on here, but I made one this week that for a week of breakfasts, a little meal prep that I thought was worth bringing on here for you. So it's a little bit of like a casserole. So what the base was, almost like a breakfast lasagna type deal. So the base is lavish bread. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's more like a flat bread. So put a piece of lavish bread on the bottom, and then on top of that, first goes, I had egg beaters. So layer that kind of in a 9x13 casserole dish. Throw some egg beaters that kind of fill up the bottom there, already cooked. And then on top of that was some turkey sausage gravy. Sorry. So basically just some ground turkey. I added some seasoning, some sage, some thyme, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder. Kind of made like a turkey breakfast sausage, and then added some milk and some flour first to kind of coat the beef or the turkey, and then some milk into that to make like that sausage gravy. So poured that on top of the eggs, and then let it thicken up, obviously, and then poured it on top of the eggs, and then put a light layer of Kobe Jack cheese on top, and then did another piece of lavish bread, again with more eggs from the egg beaters, and then another layer of sausage gravy, and then cheese on top, and then cooked that in the oven for 25 minutes.
That sounds funky, man. That sounds like a breakfast quiche, a double layered breakfast quiche or something.
That's what I'm saying. It was almost like a breakfast lasagna.
You guys send me pictures of that, man. I look kind of crazy.
I can do that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge breakfast guy. I normally skip breakfast most days, mostly just because I'm not hungry. But when it comes to breakfast, I pretty much can cook anything I like, like anything for breakfast. So it just depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm the same way. I've been trying to eat more breakfast so that I'm not like, ravaged at lunch, and then it kind of throws off my meal eating. So I trying to eat some small breakfasts, but that's why this one was kind of perfect, low calorie, easy to make a big batch and save for the week.
Oh yeah, but that definitely sounds good, man. Like I said, you guys send me some pictures of that. I'll have to give that a try, man. And then what'd you guys drink that down with?
So one of the I think this week, but one of the breweries in town here is going out of business. Just failure to rent going up, and failure to come to an agreement, and all sorts of stuff going on. So try to hit up a couple of their beers before they're gone for good. So this one is called Tears of My Beers. It's from Dream Chasers Brewery in Waxhaw. Yeah, they've been really playing this thing the last week or so. But it's a session IPA, has some pineapple puree in it, so definitely get the citrus flavor, and it's a little like thicker than I would expect for like a 5%er, but the taste was all right. Fruit flavor is definitely there, you know, from not only pineapple puree but the hop profile that they use. And yeah, I thought it was, you know, again, I'm not like the biggest fan of their beer. Cool place to hang out. The beer has always kind of been good enough to have, you know, one or two there. But I thought this one was kind of like right in line, probably a little bit better than a couple of the other ones that I've had there. So I give it a 7.1.
Dang, man. I thought I was going to get the high sevens, maybe an 8.
Not quite.
I mean, it's still a decent beer. I mean,
yeah.
despite it not being super high, but was it more of a dark beer or?
No, it's a session IPA, so just a kind of a almost more like I would say a pale ale.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, they got to step it up, man. They can't you know, be going out of business and giving us some weak stuff. So
exactly.
And it's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week for the BRRs, I mean, checking out some of our normal shows. I mean, we got Tokyo Vice. Second season is pretty good. Definitely want to check it out when you get a chance. Like I said, it's about the American dude who lives out in Japan and you know, works for a newspaper, and you kind of getting the gist of what the Japanese newspaper's life is like when you're one of the writers, as far as, you know, how you get stories, how they cooperate with the police, with the Yakuza. It's an interesting little show, but definitely the second season heating up. So definitely something you can check out.
Nice.
Then we had Love is Blind. I know you checked out some of the episodes. What episode you got up to?
I didn't start this. I finished the first half of the season, so I know they just released today the next part. So yeah, got all the way through seeing, you know, everyone getting back to Charlotte and starting to kind of figure out what they're gonna do. So yeah, it's been, I think it's been the best season by far to date. Just a lot of interesting dynamics, and it doesn't, you know, I feel like in the past it seemed like some of the relationships like were kind of like forced, or people weren't there for the right reasons. I don't feel that this time. I just feel like in this one, some people made some bad decisions.
Yeah, they always pick the number 2, and it should have been a number 1.
Yeah. and now, like, because I just felt, you know, even, you know, with what's her face, Chelsea and Jimmy, that Chelsea should have picked the Nick lookalike, and obviously Jimmy should have picked Jessica. So, you know, I think everyone's kind of like, you start to see this and people start to meet up, and then you got what's his face over there, Jeremy, like driving up to north of Charlotte to go see his the girl he was talking to, and then, you know, basically lied to his girlfriend there, thinking that she, you know, like, oh, I shared my location with you. Like,
oh, that scene was great.
Oh my god, I like how she slow played that one though. It was like, yeah, no, I saw where you were. I knew exactly where you were when I woke up at 5 a.m. and checked your location.
Oh yeah, she hit him with the banger. After that. That was the mic drop right there.
He thought he was in the clear. But yeah, so that one's getting spicy. I just think that they're all getting a little bit spicy right now.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I feel like there's something going on with every couple. Not too much with that first couple. I forget their name. With the Spanish chick and the blonde dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. The only question I had, maybe this is inappropriate, but does he like women? That was my only my only curiosity.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That was the only part that confused me.
Yeah, I mean that's the only couple that seems like they're gonna make it. Everybody else,
yeah,
it seems like they is about to implode. I was surprised about not too surprised, but the The black guy and the other
Yeah,
girl with the
yeah.
phone.
It's almost like when they got home and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing."
Yeah, I felt like he was getting so many texts or messages about the
Yeah.
situation that it kind of
You
just like
think you think his like buddies all talked him out of it?
I think so, man, because they said he was spending a lot of time with his friends and stuff when he came back, and then
Yeah.
he kept having a lot of conversations about the interracial relationship, which he never
Yeah.
had before. So
Right.
I think that kind of threw him off. I think he was kind of listening to the outside noise too much. And then when she was like sitting there crying and like telling him how she felt, he was just on his phone like he
Yeah,
was
that was weird. Like she's trying to like have a real conversation with him, and he's just like diddling on his phone. I thought that was kind
yeah.
of.
I said he was like checked out.
Oh yeah.
The memes are hilarious when they show like him talking to her and then like him talking about the Dolphins. So you see
Oh
the,
yeah.
the two sides.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. Which is kind of funny too, because he's a middle school principal here.
Yeah, that's what
Along
I
with
understand. Like it was just a lot like going on that I felt like he was either checked out or like somebody got in his ear and just made him go the other way.
yeah,
But they need to give some of these people like a second chance that kind of had like the faulty relationships. But I don't feel like they have enough people to go back to like a certain city. But
yeah.
some other shows, I mean, you got Halo 2. Second season's better than the first. I'm liking it, man. Definitely
Hmm.
definitely want to check it out when you get a chance, especially if you play the video game.
Okay.
Second season they got a lot more acting, better acting, a lot better writing, a
Hmm.
lot more action. So I mean, you can't go wrong with that, man. Then they put out the Shogun. They put out the first 2 episodes. I don't think you got a chance to see that, right?
I didn't watch it yet. No.
Yeah, I'll probably check that out tomorrow or something. But they're giving it great reviews. They're saying that's a replacement for Game of Thrones. So I'm about to give that a shot, man.
Oh yeah.
And then outside of that, wasn't really much else. I checked out the Avatar: Last Airbender on Netflix. It's the live action of the cartoon version. Kind of mixed reviews. I don't really feel like it's for kids, but it's still I definitely enjoyed it though.
Okay.
Because in the first episode, somebody gets burnt to death. So I don't know if that's you would classify that as a kid show. So, but other than that, it wasn't really much else out there, man.
Yeah, we're looking. We're looking at a pretty heavy summer. Might have to save some of those shows because it's gonna get light real quick after that for a little bit.
Yeah, man. But that's the thing. You gotta. It's gonna give you opportunity, or me opportunity to go back and find some other stuff I might have missed, or some other stuff I forgot and need to catch up on. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'll figure it out. And then until next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.